Advanced Matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
DQ presents How to Make Your Summer Take Flight. Just head into DQ for a new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard treat. Treat your inner hero to an epic mix of sugar cookie dough, sprinkles, and cake batter flavor. Blend it all with legendary DQ soft serve, and it's enough to tempt Superman himself. Fly into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard treat before it's gone. And don't miss Superman, only in theaters July 11th. DQ, happy tastes good. Only at participating locations.
Affordable GLP-1s. Try Wegovy at $199.
Future health, weight loss. Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's July 4th sale is on now. Get a king bed for a queen price and save up to $700. Plus, get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Take a pause.
Got some coyotes acting really wild in your area? Like teenagers hopped up on energy drinks? That's because it's about springtime when they're looking for dating and mating.
Whenever they're breeding, they're going to be a lot more active and on the move more, and so we're going to have a greater chance of seeing them.
That's Dan Zarlinga from the Missouri Department of Conservation. He says while coyotes won't generally attack you or pets for food, you do need to keep an eye out.
There could be some territorial issues, so they may see it as a territorial invader. So make sure you're with your pets, they're on a leash. Don't let them go out unsupervised.
If coyotes are getting too close to you or to your home, he says,
harass them. Squirt hoses, make loud noises, shine lights at them, whatever you can to give them an unpleasant experience.
You can also bang pots and pans together, blow a whistle, or break out the old classic air horn. Take a pause. Jill Nato, Fox News.
iHeartRadio, soundtrack, flashback.
So what's a movie soundtrack without Smash Mouth? 1998's Can't Hardly Wait took us inside the mind of graduating high schoolers and gave us a slamming soundtrack in the process. A big standout was Can't Get Enough of You Baby. It's a cover song, but Smash Mouth really made it their own.
I can't get enough of you, baby. I can't get enough of you, baby.
For more great movie soundtrack hits, check out Popcorn Radio on the iHeartRadio app.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WINCA in Miami, WMIB FM HD2 Fort Lauderdale. Free never sounded so good.
1-0 pitch. Stowers cracks that one out to center and deep. Siri is back. He looks up and it's gone. The Marlins waste no time. Kyle Stowers with a 2-run shot, and they take a 2-0 lead in the first.
Miami Marlins baseball is on deck.
2-1. That kicks away from Rodriguez. Hill breaks for the plate. There will be no throw. And on a wild pitch, the Marlins walk it off again. 1-2. Conine lifts out to left field. Tommy Pham working back to the warning track. So is Sawinski. They look up and it's gone. Griffin Conine to left center. And we're tied at 2 in the 7th.
Marlins on deck. Brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Strong.
All right, nice job, Carlos. Welcome. We're live from Oracle Park in San Francisco. Another late night here in the Bay on a 60-degree Wednesday night, and you're listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio. It's Fox Sports 940 Miami. Game 78 of 162, folks, 3 games away from the halfway point of the season, and the Marlins last night kicked off this 6-game road trip on the right foot. Miami played a couple of runs early and didn't look back as they held on and to lead wire to wire in a 4-2 victory over the Giants. Now a chance at back-to-back series wins for the first time in 2025. We're pumped to bring you Game 2, middle game of a 3-game set between the 44-35 San Francisco Giants and your now 32-45 Miami Marlins. Edward Cabrera, he's got a 1.46 ERA over his last 5 starts. He's in quite the groove. Cabby, makes start number 13 tonight against a team he faced about a month ago. Logan Webb, he's 2-0 with a 1.61 ERA over his last 4 starts. He's got 30 punch-outs, just 3 walks in that span. It could be an old-school pitching duel tonight in the Bay. We get going at 9:45 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Well, hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your late Wednesday night. With Jack McMullen and former All-Star closer A.J. Ramos, I'm Steven Strom. We are going the distance again in this Power Pack broadcast, and we thank you for your participation. Let's get you the lineup for the show tonight. We'll first hear from Connor Norby, who had a multi-hit game. We got some Alcatraz talk as well. What 3 teammates would you take to Alcatraz if you had to escape? We'll get that answer from some of the guys down in the clubhouse in just a little bit. We'll get you ahead of the count with Edward and Webb. Jack will join me for segment 4 for some back and forth, some storylines, our Expo question of today at Marlins Radio, and Steve's guarantee to victory. So we talked about it last night. Marlins take game 1, Connor Norby. First multi-hit game since June 16th. He's starting to get going, hits in 5 of his last 8. But let's hear Norby on facing one of the legends of the game in Justin Verlander and what was key in last night's victory.
We jumped on him early. He threw a lot of fastballs. He didn't throw as many sliders as what we thought. He threw more changeups, but I thought the approach was good. Some timely hitting. Added on when we needed to. Played good defense. Cal pitched great. Bullpen was great. And obviously that's a really good team over there. So keeping them at bay and getting to their bullpen was big too.
I know you played in a handful of games, man, but what's it like going up against a guy that's in season 20, 2-time World Series champion, Justin Verlander?
Yeah, like I definitely thought about it last night, and like I grew up watching him, right? And he spent I was trying to do the math. I'm not very good at math, but I think he spent over half his life in the big league. So he's first ballot Hall of Famer. When he's ready, it's pretty cool to go mano a mano versus him.
2 hits tonight for you. First of all, how good did it feel, and what were some of the encouraging signs for yourself offensively?
I mean, if anyone knows me, they know like I probably overthink a lot of things, but they also know that I work my tail off. And for all the people at home, like I am in the cage all the time, like trying to figure it out and get back to myself. And I thought last week was pretty like a good week for me, and didn't have like a ton of hits, but I was working the count. I wasn't chasing. I was getting some walks, which I know like that's what I'm working on. I'm trying to take more pitches, put some good swings on some balls. We were playing good baseball, and that always helps. But last week was for sure a positive sign, and it's just day by day. Like you just keep trying to stack days, and you're gonna have your offers, and you're gonna have your bad days, but just get back to work. And I know that. Oh my God.
Now he's giving him a little cold water when it's 50 degrees. That's not right.
No,
that's your teammate, man.
No, but I had a lot of positive people around me, and they know I'm going to get it right, and I know that tides are going to turn.
All right, so that was Connor Norby last night. Couple of hits in RBI, and for Norby, hits in 5 of his last 8 games. He's back in the lineup. In that 8 spot, he will play third base. An interesting couple of nuggets I do want to share to you about Connor Norby. Now, Norby's been a lot better on the road this season. He's hitting .290 with a .766 OPS, so he's been a lot better away from Lone Depot Park. The other key thing to look at Norby, the walks. He's drawn 6 walks in the month of June. We still got a couple more games left. He drew 4 walks in the month of May and 1 in April. Again, he was late to start this season. He was on the shelf to start 2025. But the big thing for Connor Norby, he's got to be able to walk more. You're starting to see slowly but surely the AB quality getting better, and he's being rewarded with a couple of hits last night. Look, there's no question about it. The Marlins and the future, big part, Connor Norby. It just is. We saw spouts of Kyle Stowers in the beginning of this season. We've seen moments of Augustine Ramirez. It's time for Connor Norby to have his moment where we can confirm and say, okay, this guy is going to be a legit part of this future, and his success is going to translate into wins for the Miami Marlins. Hopefully this will kickstart what could be an interesting next couple of weeks for Connor Norby. We'll break here. We got an awesome couple of responses down in the clubhouse on who you would take if you had to escape Alcatraz. We talked to Cal Quantrill, we talked to Tyler Phillips, we talked to Liam Hicks, and we talked to Connor Norby. They will give us our answer next. 9:45 first pitch. We are back in 2 minutes on the Marlins Radio Network.
3-2 again. Again, Stowers goes, and Wagaman lifts that one into left center field. That is in, and that will get to the wall. It two-hops the wall in left center field. Stowers got the head start. He's around third. He's heading home without a throw. It's an RBI double for Eric Wagaman, and the Marlins are on the board in the top of the second. Center, but some grass. 1-2. That ground ball through the left side for a base hit. Wagaman getting the run around. Ramos' throw coming home is on line, but it's late, and Norby pushes to second with a head first dive on the throw. 103 off the bat. Giant infield is in now against Otto Lopez. In the first pitch, Otto slaps into center field. That is in for a base hit. Sanchez can walk home. Otto takes a turn to first, but retreats there. And the Marlins are stringing some hits together. After the Sanchez triple, an RBI single for Lopez. It's 3-0 Fish in the top of the third. 0-1 pitch. Ramos cracks one down the left field line. That is in for a base hit, and that will be extra bases. It kicks off the jutted out wall. Devers around third. Relay throw coming to the plate. On target on a hop. Hicks picks it up, and Devers did not slide. Liam Hicks, the catcher, swipes the tag on Devers, who is trying to score from first base. 7. First pitch. X, that was in his hands. Past the dive of the third baseman, Schmidt, into left field for a base hit. That's going to plate another. Ramos' throw going to second base. It is not in time. X at his second, standing up. He plates Norby from second base, and it's an RBI double. The lead is doubled. 4-2 Fish in the top of the seventh. 3-2 again. Schmidt with a ground ball over to short. Could end it. Otto to second for one. On to first. In time for the double.
Today, Terminix, where trust and protection hit a home run.
Well, it's great to have you with us on a Wednesday night from San Francisco. About 60 degrees here at Oracle Park. It's game 2 of a 3-game set. Marlins snatched game 1 last night 4-2. Collective team win, double-digit hits again for the Miami Marlins. And I did want to read that coming out of Connor Norby's interview. The Marlins recorded their second straight game with double-digit hits, and their 9th such game this month. They are tied with 3 other teams for the most 10-plus hit games in the month of June. Take the Marlins wherever you go. Download the iHeartRadio app. Make Fox Sports 940 the top preset to listen to every Marlins game. Carlos back in the studio, staying up with us late here tonight. Again, 9:45 first pitch. Edward Cabrera will go opposite Logan Webb. Well, on the off day on Monday, a couple of the guys went to Alcatraz, including myself with Jack McMullen. We got a chance to tour the joint. We also had a chance to catch up with some of them this afternoon on what teammates they would choose if they had to select 3 on an escape plan. We talked with Cal Quantrill, we talked with Tyler Phillips, we talked with Connor Norby, and we talked with Liam Hicks.
Stowie, obvious.
Why? Because he's your boy?
My boy, Stanford guy as well. That helps.
We're looking at little Chiquito, Sanoja. We're looking at Arani Enriquez and Jesus Sanchez.
Number 1 pick would probably be Stowie, Stanford guy. So, I mean, he's got some smarts, I would guess. I think he could help me.
I'm gonna go. I don't want to roll with another Stanford guy with Cal, but I'm gonna go Wags.
Second pick, I think Junk. I think Junk would be, he's kind of low-key, but I think he's got a good mind. Outdoorsy, exactly.
He's pretty intelligent. Oh, Marius.
The 2 smaller ones, naturally, they're not gonna need as big of a hole to dig out and crawl through. They can fit through the small spaces. I think that's a good crew, honestly. There might be a little language barrier, but I'll figure it out.
I'm bringing a California guy, someone who knows the area. I'm going to bring Stowie with me. Stowie's good. I'm going to bring Ronnie. Really? Sneaky Ronnie pick, yeah.
Why?
Well, first of all, I think he'd be very helpful breaking out of the actual prison. Small, strong.
A winning group, you know. I think there's some sleeper brains in there as well,
I might go Foch. I think he's pretty good with the riddles. That they put up a riddle in the training room every day, and he's pretty good with it. So I think that's got to help somehow. I think some type of thinking quick.
I'll take Winkler.
Nice. Why?
Well, I figure, he's a smart kid. I think he can probably swim, and worst comes to worst, we throw him to the Sharks, and we just, continue on.
Divert attention.
Yeah, you sacrifice one for the good of many.
God, that was so good. Cal Quantrill was excellent in that segment. I'm trying to think. If I had to take 3 broadcasters, as Jack McMullen puts on the headset right now, Jack, who are you taking if you had to escape from Alcatraz?
Don't take this as too much of a compliment. You.
Okay.
Because I think you've got brain and brawn at the same time. You put in work at the hotel fitness centers.
Yeah. And I'm not an overly I'm not going to get into me. Go ahead.
Benny Biceps Ingram in Atlanta. I'd be taking Ben Ingram, the radio voice of the Braves.
You went league-wide. I went our booth.
Our booth.
I went Marlins Radio, Marlins TV.
Marlins Radio, Marlins TV. So anybody that works with us. Okay. You, AJ, and tell you what, Jeff Nelson has a swimmer's build.
Yeah.
I'm in on Nelly. I think
That's a good group.
I think Nelly can freestyle his way to shore.
I would go Nelly. I would probably go Kyle because he's an outdoors guy.
Yeah.
He goes camping with his family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And another swimmer is Kelly.
Yeah.
If we want to be precise. I mean, she was a really good swimmer.
Yeah. Sounds like a good crew.
Yeah. I'm probably going to go those 3.
Cool.
Sorry, man.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could broadcast from the island.
No,
as I take off.
It's really cool because I threw you in immediately. I was like, you're the first guy, and then but no, that's cool. All right,
Yeah.
When am I on next?
Couple minutes. We'll break here. We have an awesome matchup on the mound. Edward Cabrera, who's been sensational. Logan Webb, who's been sensational. They will match off here tonight at 9:45. We'll break down the matchup. We'll also talk about some of the trends in this series. The team that has scored first through 4 games are 4-0. Remember, the Giants took 2 out of 3 in Miami. Marlins snatched game 1 yesterday. You're starting to see some of the trends in this series. Score first, and there's not a lot of runs across any of these games. I think we should see the same thing here tonight. We are back in 2 minutes. Marlins on Deck continues on the Marlins Radio Network.
Let's say that was 98.
Augustine Ramirez hammers a ball, left field, and gone. 3-run bomb. Augustine Ramirez, his 11th home run of the season. And the Marlins blow it open 4-0 in the bottom of the 3rd.
Type of pitches go a long way.
This pitcher to Michael Harris is hit on the ground to the dive of the shortstop Lopez. He rolls a ground ball over to first, and that gets Harris. Great play by Otto.
Way up, he threw that from his right knee and was able to get it over to first with enough steam.
Now another great defensive shortstop, Nick Allen, lifts one out to left field. That is falling quickly. Stowers dives, and he makes the catch. 1-1. That one flicked down the left field line. That is in for a base hit, and that's rolling all the way to the wall. Stowers jogs in from second. Myers sprints in from first, and Eric Wagaman with a 2-run pinch hit double. Verdugo in left field is throwing both his hands up right now.
For him.
1-2. Otto on the move. That a hard ground ball that eats up Albies and dribbles into center field. A run comes in to score. Lopez goes first to third. Augustine ripped a ball on the ground, and he might have himself a 4 RBI day.
Kyle, how did you see your team keep their foot on the gas the entire night tonight?
Yeah, I thought, early on, scoring at first is always a huge thing in this game. And then obviously the 3-run homer from Gus there. And then, I feel like when you have a lead, and they, whether they score a couple, if you can answer back again, kind of just like you said, keeps your foot on the gas and, shows that we're still in that game offensively and not just, coasting.
More details excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
This is Clayton McCullough here.
and you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
Back here in San Francisco, Marlins Radio live from Oracle Park. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, and A.J. Ramos. Those two have your call at 9:45. Edward Cabrera will go opposite Logan Webb. And let's dive deeper into the match because this potentially could be a sub-2-hour game, folks. Edward Cabrera, 27-year-old right-hander, I dare say is having the breakout season that we hoped for from Edward Cabrera the last couple of seasons. He'll make his 13th start of the year. 2-2 with 3.81 ERA, 63 Ks to 26 walks. He's coming off arguably his best start of the season against the Phillies, 6 1/3, 1 run, 5 Ks. Did not factor, tallied 14 whiffs, 5 Ks for the 6th straight appearance for Edward Cabrera. He did face San Francisco back on May 31st, 5 2/3 scoreless, 6 hits, 5 Ks. Marlins won that game 1-0. We mentioned it in the open. Cabby's got a 1.46 ERA over his last 24 2/3. The usage, I asked this question, and we'll discuss it with Jack McMullen. First 7 starts for Edward Cabrera. 4-seam usage, 9%. His last 5, 23.5%. Let's round up to 24%. I'll ask Jack McMullen in the next segment what that means, why he's done it, and how it's worked for Cabrera. He will go opposite Logan Webb, 28-year-old right-hander who will make his 17th start of the season. All-star last year, 7 seasons with the San Francisco Giants. He comes in tonight, a 7-5 record, a 2.49 ERA, 101 in a third innings pitch. How about this? 114 strikeouts to just 20 walks on the season. This is a guy, he's been a workhorse back-to-back years with 200-plus innings. He did register a win on Thursday against Cleveland, giving up 1 run on 7 hits, no walks, 7 innings, 9 punch-outs. It was his 5th straight quality start. He's got 12 quality starts. That is the leader of all of Major League Baseball. Career-wise against the Marlins, he's lost each of his last 4 starts against Miami. It was funny. A media member asked Clayton McCullough, well, the Marlins have had really good success against Logan Webb in its history. They asked Clayton McCullough, how? He said, well, I wasn't here last year, so I'm not really sure. But from my days from L.A., we've had some trouble with Logan Webb, not just the Dodgers, but all the other 29 teams in baseball. He'll feature a sinker, a sweeper, a changeup, a cutter, and a 4-seamer. Thing about Logan Webb, his ground ball percentage is through the roof, about 55%, league average around lower 40s. Logan Webb is a problem, and so is Edward Cabrera. So it should be a great matchup on the mound. We'll discuss further with Jack McMullen about the matchup on the mound, plus some of the great trends and storylines that we've seen from the Miami Marlins. 8-5 over the last 13 games, and they're looking to win back-to-back series for the first time in the 2025 campaign. We'll break here. Marlins on Deck continues on the Marlins Radio Network.
3-2 again. Again, Stowers goes, and Wagaman lifts that one into left center field. That is in, and that will get to the wall. It 2-hops the wall in left center field. Stowers got the head start. He's around third. He's heading home without a throw. It's an RBI double for Eric Wagaman, and the Marlins are on the board in the top of the second. Center, but some grass. 1-2. That ground ball through the left side for a base hit. Wagaman getting the run around. Ramos' throw coming home is on line, but it's late, and Norby pushes to second with a head-first dive on the throw. 103 off the bat. Giant infield is in now against Otto Lopez. In the first pitch, Otto slaps into center field. That is in for a base hit. Sanchez can walk home. Otto takes a turn at first, but retreats there. And the Marlins are stringing some hits together after the Sanchez triple. An RBI single for Lopez. It's 3-0 Fish in the top of the third. 0-1 pitch. Ramos cracks one down the left field line. That is in for a base hit, and that will be extra bases. It kicks off the jutted out wall. Devers around third. Relay throw coming to the plate. On target on a hop. Hicks picks it up, and Devers did not slide. Liam Hicks, the catcher, swipes the tag on Devers, who is trying to score from first base. 7. First pitch. That was in his hands. Past the dive of the third baseman, Schmidt. Into left field for a base hit. That's going to plate another. Ramos' throw going to second base. It is not in time. Exit is second, standing up. He plates Norby from second base, and it's an RBI double. The lead is doubled. 4-2 Fish in the top of the 7th. 3-2 again. Schmidt with the ground.
Después de la promo aplican tarifas regulares. Ahorros comparados o progreso en 5G Internet más una línea Unlimited Welcome y AT&T Internet 300 más una línea Unlimited Starter SL. Requiere Xfinity Internet. Velocidades reales varían. Velocidades se reducen después del uso de 30 gigabits por línea. Los límites de datos y los ahorros reales varían.
Ready to rock and roll here on the Marlins Radio Network, Fox Sports 940 Miami. This is Marlins on Deck. I'm Steven Strom. Jack McMullen joins the program. And Carlos back in the studio holding it down. Hopefully he's had a couple of cups of coffee because it's going to be another late one here in San Francisco. Game 2, Marlins again looking to win back-to-back series for the first time this season. Take the Marlins wherever you go. Download the iHeartRadio app. Make Fox Sports 940 the top preset to listen to every Marlins game. As Jack McMullen joins me now, where shall we start tonight, buddy? This is a really exciting matchup on the mound. Logan Webb and Edward Cabrera. Let's start with Webb, though. Is it the West Coast bias? Because it feels like every year Logan Webb somehow, some way goes under the radar.
Yes, it is entirely West Coast bias, and I'd prefer if you didn't call me buddy moving forward.
Yeah, you got it, buddy.
Logan Webb is, I think, the most underrated pitcher in Major League Baseball. And I think a lot of this is he pitches when a lot of people are asleep. That's how I think Logan Gilbert is one of the more underrated pitchers in baseball as well. That's how I think Brian Wu is one of the more underrated pitchers. I just named 2 Seattle Mariners. Dodgers, it's going to be tough for a Dodger to sneak under the radar, but I think Michael King in San Diego is also one of the more underrated pitchers in Major League Baseball. And the reason is simply they pitch when people are asleep. Logan Webb pitches when people are asleep. And here's the thing, his type of game will lull you to sleep. But this guy is one of, if not the best ground ball starting pitchers in Major League Baseball. How does he beat guys? It isn't sexy. It isn't flashy. I think flashy is 10 strikeouts per 9. That's not who he is. That's who he is this year. But he was 7 strikeouts per 9 before this. He was a guy that's going to pitch to contact early in counts and get contact on the ground. I was just looking at starting pitchers by average launch angle against.
Okay.
And that sounds rocket science-y, but it's really just what angle is the baseball coming off of your bat? Who is the best ground ball pitcher in baseball? The lowest launch angle against among starting pitchers in Major League Baseball over the last few years is Framber Valdez in Houston.
Who lives on the ground.
Logan Webb is number 2. So these guys do such a good job of getting contact on the ground early in counts. You remember how Sandy Alcantara won a Cy Young? He threw nearly 230 innings. That's kind of sort of who Logan Webb is. No, it's not 100, so he's probably not going to win a Cy Young, but this guy has finished top 3 in National League Cy Young voting. He is one of the best pitchers in baseball, and I think surefire the most underrated pitcher in baseball.
All right, so Logan Webb, 54% ground ball rate. League average is 42%. Did you have something to say? I thought you were dialed in to say something else. Okay,
No.
Edward Cabrera. We got this in the research packet today that fastball usage is way up. First 7 starts, he was using it about 8%, and then the final, 5? 23.5%. Did you think that was the case when you read that this morning? And if so, have you noticed it? And why is it working now?
I hadn't really noticed it. I just noticed that he was more confident within the strike zone, and that probably is like the upped 4-seam sinker usage. I don't know what a 4-seamer is and what a sinker is with him, to be honest, because they kind of sort of look the same, and I wonder if he grips them differently. I feel like we should ask him that. But for me, those pitches can blend a little bit. And I feel like it's just fastball usage. That's what I've been looking at. His fastball usage has crept up because he's willing to get ahead of guys early in counts. He's going to a fastball, whether it's a 4-seamer or a sinker. He's going to it in 0-0 counts and 0-1 counts. And then when he gets to 2 strikes, Daniel Moskis used the term evacuating the zone.
Sure.
He gets out of the strike zone. He looks for chase. He looks for the strikeout. But early, he knows there are not many hitters in Major League Baseball that are going to beat him. So that's where I noticed the fastball usage uptick. And if it's the 4-seam, if it's the sinker, frankly, I don't care. It's working. So keep doing whatever's working.
I think one of the encouraging things as we switch to the offense and how the Marlins have done it, hasn't been a ton of slug, Jack. It hasn't been the big 3-run home run. We got it from Augustine on Friday against the Braves, but for the most part, it's really been about death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's 10-plus hits, and the Marlins this month have 8 or 9 now such games where they have recorded double-digit hits. How have you seen the Marlins offense evolve, particularly this month? I know they haven't played it a ton of runs, but it certainly feels like they're putting ample pressure on the starting pitcher.
They feel deeper. They feel less reliant on one guy. At the beginning of the year, we saw them be overly reliant at some points on Kyle Stowers. And then when Augustine came up and he was taking the baseball world by storm, it felt like we were almost overwhelmingly reliant on Augustine Ramirez. And then we got to a point where things were really good because we had two guys that were delivering big blows, and Stowers and Augustine. But when those two taper off just a little bit, because that is what happens in a Major League Baseball season, nobody's hot for 162. When these guys go through a cold spell over a couple of weeks, you need to have length in that lineup. And what I feel like the Marlins are finding right now is length in the lineup. Otto Lopez can just guide the barrel to something and flip it into center for an RBI single.
Did it last night.
Connor Norby can roll a ground ball through the left side of the infield for an RBI single. Xavier Edwards can slap a ball down the third base line for an RBI double. Like, these are all things that happened last night and that can happen tonight, and you don't have to stretch to see that happening tonight against Logan Webb. They can attack any sort of pitcher, and I feel like they can do it 1 through 9 right now. This is as deep as the Marlins lineup has been this year.
All right, the pretty boy joins us now, AJ Ramos, who is doing TV and now all of a sudden wants to come on to Marlins on Deck.
That's
but
right.
we allow. What can you tell us, AJ, when you did your pregame show? What kind of sticks out to you? You can take this in any which way, Logan Webb or Edward Cabrera. Just give me your broad thoughts here.
I mean, the nastiness that we're going to see today from Cabrera and from Logan Webb. I think when I think about Logan Webb, he's able to throw the sinker to both sides of the plate, to righties and lefties, and same thing with his sweeper, righties and lefty. And he's added that changeup, and he's also getting more whiffs with both of those pitches by a little bit of tweaking and a little bit of pitch usage as well. With Cabrera, I've really loved him navigating through traffic. But in the past, I feel like whenever he starts to get in control, things started to speed up on him. He was throwing a lot more balls, and then he had to throw a fastball down the middle, basically, and guys were capitalizing off of that. Most recently, I feel like he's gotten into trouble and then made pitches to get out of that, either a double play or a strikeout. So the maturity level of him is really evolving, and it's fun to see because I think he has the stuff to be one of the most elite pitchers in the league.
Big thing here tonight. Again, 4 games between these two. The team that has scored first is 4-0. So we shall see if that continues here tonight. We'll break. AJ and Jack have your call at 9:45, about 16 minutes away from first pitch. We will get our Expo question of today at Marlins Radio. Steve's guaranteed a victory. And then we'll play some baseball. Game 2, Marlins Giants on the Marlins Radio Network.
Hey. 3-2 again. Again, Stowers goes, and Wagaman lifts that one into left center field. That is in, and that will get to the wall. It two-hops the wall in left center field. Stowers got the head start. He's around third. He's heading home without a throw. It's an RBI double for Eric Wagaman, and the Marlins are on the board in the top of the second. Play center, but some grass. 1-2. That ground ball through the left side for a base hit. Wagaman getting the run around. Ramos' throw coming home is on line, but it's late, and Norby pushes to second with a head first dive on the throw. 103 off the bat. Giant infield is in now against Otto Lopez. In the first pitch, Otto slaps into center field. That is in for a base hit. Sanchez can walk home. Otto takes a turn to first, but retreats there. And the Marlins are stringing some hits together. After the Sanchez triple, an RBI single for Lopez. It's 3-0 Fish in the top of the third. 0-1 pitch. Ramos cracks one down the left field line. That is in for a base hit, and that will be extra bases. It kicks off the jutted out wall. Devers around third. Relay throw coming to the plate. On target on a hop. Hicks picks it up, and Devers did not slide. Liam Hicks, the catcher, swipes the tag on Devers, who is trying to score from first base. 7. First pitch. X, that was in his hands. Past the dive of the third baseman, Schmidt, into left field for a base hit. That's going to plate another. Ramos' throw going to second base. It is not in time. X at his second, standing up. He plates Norby from second base, and it's an RBI double. The lead is doubled. 4-2 Fish in the top of the 7th. 3-2 again. Schmidt with a ground ball over to short. Could end it. Otto to second for one. On to first. In time for the double play. Otto Lopez, the shortstop, ranged to his backhand. He got behind it. He gloved it in rhythm. He
13 minutes and 13 seconds away from first pitch right here on the Marlins Radio Network. It's game 2 of a 3-game set. Marlins, Giants, Edward Cabrera will go opposite Logan Webb. AJ Ramos, he's wearing a little bit more than a tie here tonight. Jack McMullen is with us as well. Pumped to bring you Game 2, and the Marlins looking to do a couple of things here. First of all, have Edward Cabrera come out here and set the tone in Game 2. Always expect a punch back from San Francisco, the team that loses Game 1. And can the Marlins win back-to-back series for the first time this season? Let's get to our Expo question of today at Marlins Radio. We heard from our friends down in the clubhouse on what 3 teammates they would take if they had to escape Alcatraz. Well, our question here tonight is, when did Alcatraz open? Make sure to vote at Marlins Radio. We took a tour there on Monday. I highly suggest. I'll just leave it at that. All right, Carlos, it is time for Steve's Guarantee.
Batter up. Batter up.
Let's play some ball.
First pitch is moments away. Time now for Steve's Guarantees.
You know how you come home sometimes and you have a sweet tooth and you're like, man, I really want to have something sweet and I'm craving ice cream. And you go in the freezer and you pull out that freezer and you see ice cream and you're like, oh my gosh, not only do I want ice cream, but it's right in front of me. That's how I feel about Edward Cabrera pitching a quality start. He has dominated against the San Francisco Giants in 4 career starts, throwing to a 1 ERA. He dominated them last month at home, 5 2/3 of shutout ball. And I looked at this Giant offense last night. It continues to struggle. This is a pitcher-friendly park. This is lining up right now for an Edward Cabrera quality start. I don't know what's going to happen offensively for the Marlins against Logan Webb. Again, we warned you this could be a sub-2-hour game, but I am very confident that Edward Cabrera will collect a quality start. Folks, I hope you got the itch for first pitch, because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints a picture. AJ Ramos, he's ready to rock. Starting lineups in first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins On Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together, Miami. Marlins baseball, it's next. This is the Marlins Radio Network.